Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mohanty, and I'm a PhD student at EPFL. And like every 27-year-old kid, I like to think of myself as Sherlock. My research is about trying to understand diseases and how they spread. And my job is to come up with interesting ways in which we can model and understand how these diseases spread. In the process, I have to figure out how can we use Twitter stream for something, satellite imagery for something, smartphone images for something, or understand behavioral patterns from videos. So then I basically thought, can we basically use some of these things to come up with creative ways to figure out another problem. Another problem is the problem of crowd. I grew up in India, so I intimately understand what a crowd means. It gets really crazy. So now for a second, imagine you're the mayor of Geneva, or for the matter, anyone who has to take a lot of decisions. Be it organizer of de la musique to understand if the crowd prefers one stage to another, or the Lake Parade to figure out how to distribute personnel, or at Garkonava to understand which regions in Garkonava do people prefer. Or to figure out how many people travel on the tram, exactly. So, or shopping malls, many of these. For example, can you answer how many people took a tram between Gare Cornava and Lyon on 2nd of January between 20 and 23? A question like that, can we actually answer something like this? So, and how many of them were carrying a black bag? Let's be ambitious. And so the question is, can we measure crowd behavior? And for more informed decision making and smarter resource allocation, or novel data signal to solve some kind of problem. How I basically use deep learning from my research to understand images. I extend them to images, to videos 1 frame at a time, and to generate a time series of various events. Then basically I use these time series for all these signals. So finally, at the end of it, you, as a decision-making body, you will have a control center of your own to make more informed decisions. Now we can move to the demo. Yep. So for example, this is something I did from Gare Cornava in the morning, where basically you see how many people are traveling around. This is a more coarse, the middle one is a more coarse one. This one is more aggressive. It tries to more aggressively find things like bags, laptops, and whatnot. Then we can go to inside a tram. How does it look inside a tram? We can do the same thing to figure out the people, bags, handbags, and whatnot. And in the process, I'm plotting just the number of people across time. But in principle, you can plot it for everything that you see. You see handbags and laptops and whatnot. Then we can go to, maybe from the hackathon in the morning, I took a video. So this was the hackathon in the morning where people were traveling around. We see a lot of laptops and people discussing. Mind you, the middle one is something which is not very aggressive in making these decisions. The one on the side tries to find everything. Then hackathon outside during lunch. So these were a lot of people having discussions, and ideally you can have it on a static camera, but again, it was hard for me to record a lot of videos, so I moved my own frame of reference to collect a lot of videos. So these were people having lunch. I am pretty sure many of you are already in these videos. And apart from that, you can also detect like simple thing. Many of these things don't probably move, so those also kind of somehow are detected to some extent. But so these are again some ways in which a signal can be corrupted, but we know where these exist, so we can correct that. And one final one from just before this session began. I was trying this out. Oh, it should ideally work. No. No, it has to work. Oh, come on. No, it was working. I saw it. Come on. Okay, demos are not supposed to work in general, but again, I promise this one worked, and I need just 5 minutes to debug this. So I'll quickly go back. Oh, I'm done. I wanted to just. Okay. Okay. Just so now. using something like this, basically, we can have searchable videos, more informed analytics, and we can actually finally answer this question. These are the deployment costs. Just quickly, really quickly, like for a more formal point of view, if I want to deploy something like, oh, it doesn't work? Okay. If I want to deploy something like this, so thanks.